The living room glows warmly with Christmas lights, a haven of festive cheer and anticipation. A decorated Christmas tree stands tall, its branches laden with colorful gifts, promising joy and surprises. Sarah, 16, sits on the couch, her youthful face alight with excitement, yet shadowed by a hint of unease. Her gaze sweeps across the room, a subtle nervousness flickering in her eyes amidst the festive ambiance. In the quiet kitchen, Sarah prepares hot chocolate, the only sound the gentle clinking of ceramic against ceramic. A faint, almost imperceptible jingling sound stirs the silence, a whisper in the stillness of the night. Sarah pauses, head cocked slightly, listening intently as the subtle sound hangs in the air. Dismissing it as mere fancy, she continues with her task, the warmth of the kitchen enveloping her. Sarah re-enters the living room, the Christmas lights casting a warm glow, yet her eyes are drawn to an anomaly beneath the tree. An unwrapped gift sits starkly among the wrapped presents, an unexpected intrusion that sends a ripple of unease through her. Cautiously, she moves closer, her footsteps muted by the soft carpet, each step amplifying the growing sense of foreboding. A prickling sensation crawls up the back of her neck, a silent alarm signaling that something is terribly amiss in the familiar room. Close up on Sarah's face, a delicate tracery of fear etched around her eyes in the dim light. A faint whisper brushes past her ears, a ghostly caress in the otherwise silent room. Sarah's head snaps up, her eyes darting around the room, searching for the source of the sound. She is alone, the only witness to the subtle disturbance in the quiet of the night. The Christmas ornaments on the tree sway gently, a silent dance to a non-existent breeze. Sarah walks down the hallway, her silhouette elongated by the dim, flickering lights. She checks each room, a growing sense of unease tightening her expression. Shadows dance in the periphery, playing tricks on her vision and fueling her paranoia. Heart pounding, she quickens her pace, desperate to escape the suffocating atmosphere of the hallway. Sarah enters her bedroom, the silence amplifying the weight of her thoughts. The door clicks shut behind her, a definitive sound against the quiet unease. She tries to reassure herself, a fragile attempt to maintain composure. A growing sense of dread washes over her, a chilling awareness of unseen eyes. The feeling of being watched intensifies, casting long shadows across the room. Sarah re-enters the living room, a sense of unease washing over her as she notes the oppressive darkness. Christmas lights twinkle, casting an eerie glow that fails to penetrate the deepening shadows. The shadows stretch and writhe, transforming familiar shapes into menacing figures. They creep across the walls, like grasping fingers reaching out from the darkness. The furniture seems to shift, distorted by the play of light and shadow. An atmosphere of dread permeates the room, heavy and suffocating. The kitchen is cloaked in shadow, save for the soft, ghostly glow of the refrigerator. Sarah's face is etched with worry as she clutches the phone, her brow deeply furrowed. Frustration explodes as she slams the receiver down, the sound echoing in the silent room. Sarah's thumb swipes urgently across her cell phone screen, hope flickering in her eyes. The signal bars remain stubbornly empty, mocking her desperate attempts to connect. Alone in the dim light, Sarah is isolated, her anxiety growing with each passing moment. An eerie blue glow from the fireplace casts long shadows across the living room, painting the walls with an unnatural light. Though windows are sealed, a chilling wind whips through the room, stirring the dust and whispering secrets. Sarah shivers, her breath misting in the frigid air despite the fire's illusory warmth. She clutches her blanket tighter, seeking refuge from the biting cold that seeps into her bones. The silence hangs heavy, punctuated only by the crackling fire and the wind's mournful howl. A sense of unease settles, as if unseen eyes watch from the shadows, adding to the chilling atmosphere. In the dimly lit living room, Sarah is drawn to the mysterious gift, its presence unsettling. An eerie sensation grips her as she feels the object is watching her every move, driven by an unknown force. Sarah takes a tentative step closer. As Sarah moves, the shadows around her deepen and swirl, enhancing the mystery. Echoing footsteps follow Sarah as she walks alone down the dim hallway. A sudden, violent slam echoes behind her, shattering the silence and sending a jolt through her. Startled, Sarah whirls around, her breath catching in her throat. Eyes wide with apprehension, she cautiously retraces her steps toward the ominous door. The closed door looms before her, a silent sentinel guarding unknown secrets. Sarah returns to the living room, the festive atmosphere now heavy with unspoken tension. Suddenly, an ornament crashes from the Christmas tree, shattering into fragments on the floor. The sound of breaking glass echoes, amplifying the sense of unease and impending doom. I gasp, my heart pounding in my chest as the shattered pieces reflect the room's dim light. Sarah stands alone in the kitchen, the fluorescent lights flickering ominously above. Darkness descends as the lights fail, casting long, dancing shadows that engulf her. She fumbles for her cell phone, a beacon of hope in the sudden, oppressive blackness. A small beam of light pierces the inky void, cutting through the darkness like a knife. Sarah steps back into the living room, the silence heavy around her. Deep shadows stretch across the walls, twisting into eerie, looming shapes. Each shadow seems to mimic a figure, whispering secrets in the dim light. A flicker of movement catches her eye, sending a shiver down her spine. Her breath hitches, fear tightening its grip as the shadows dance closer. A sharp cry escapes her lips as her terror peaks. Sarah sprints down the hallway, her breath catching in her throat as she desperately seeks escape. She strains toward the front door, her heart pounding with a frantic rhythm. Her fingers fumble with the handle, twisting and pulling with increasing desperation. A wave of despair washes over her as she realizes the door is locked, her escape thwarted. Frustration and fear war within her as the reality of her confinement sinks in. Sarah stands alone as dim light casts eerie shadows. Vague figures emerge, encircling her in the darkness. Pale, gaunt hands reach out, promising coldness and menace. The shadows dance menacingly, tightening their grip. In the quiet living room, a mysterious gift sits ominously on the table, shrouded in an unsettling silence. Suddenly, the gift bursts open, its contents defying reality. A ghostly figure rises from within, ethereal and chilling. The room's temperature plummets, frosting the air with an unnatural cold. Sarah's scream pierces the stillness. Ah! Sarah sprints, her ragged breaths filling the narrow hallway, pursued by an unseen force. Desperation fuels her as she spots a doorway, a beacon in the oppressive darkness. She throws herself into the room, a dive of pure survival against the supernatural. The door slams shut, the echo a thunderous denial of the pursuing darkness. In the dead of night, Sarah cowers under the bed, her heart a frantic drum against the silence. Shadowy figures dance beyond the door, their forms twisted by the dim light from the hallway. Paralyzed by fear, she strains to see, but the darkness only deepens, concealing them. Each creak of the floorboards, each whisper of wind, amplifies her terror. Trapped in a nightmare, Sarah can only listen as the unseen horrors close in. Shadowy figures move like predators through the living room, their desperation palpable as they tear through the space. Furniture is overturned, its silent protest lost in the frenzy of the search. Decorations are ripped from the walls, leaving bare patches like wounds on the room's skin. The air is thick with the scent of destruction, a testament to the invaders' ruthless pursuit. Every shadow seems to deepen. Every corner holds the promise of Sarah, the object of their frantic obsession. Under the cloak of night, Sarah infiltrates the kitchen, her eyes darting around like a trapped bird. She stealthily navigates towards the drawers, each creak of the floorboards amplifying the tension. With bated breath, she opens a drawer, the metallic scent of utensils filling the air. Her fingers close around a cold, sharp knife, the steel glinting ominously in the dim light. In the dead of night, Sarah advances cautiously down a dim hallway, a glint of steel reflecting in her determined grip. The oppressive silence is broken only by her measured footsteps, each echoing with mounting tension. Shadows stretch and dance around her, playing tricks on her eyes as she ventures deeper into the unknown. A chilling sound pierces the air, growing louder with each step, the unmistakable approach of shadowy figures. Her heart pounds in her chest, a drumbeat of fear and anticipation as she prepares to confront the unseen threat. Sarah bursts into the dimly lit living room, her eyes wide with fear and resolve. A knife glints in her hand, a cold, sharp promise against the encroaching darkness. Shadowy figures lurk, their menacing forms twisting in the corners of the room. With a guttural cry, she lunges, the knife a silver streak in the gloom. The blade passes harmlessly through the figures, revealing their spectral nature. Her strike lands only on air. The shadowy figures remain unscathed, mocking her efforts. In the dim living room, shadows stretch and dance ominously as unseen figures begin to encircle Sarah. Panic flares in Sarah's eyes, a desperate scream building as the shadowy figures draw ever closer. With a surge of adrenaline, Sarah throws herself into a fierce struggle, her movements a whirlwind of defiance. Each desperate move is met by encroaching darkness, the fight intensifying as the room seems to shrink around her. The shadowy figures press in, their forms indistinct, as Sarah's scream echoes in the claustrophobic space. The dim light catches Sarah's wide, terror-filled eyes, a reflection of the supernatural battle raging within. Her face contorts in a silent scream, a mask of desperation as she confronts forces beyond her control. Each breath is a visible struggle, a desperate attempt to cling to reality as the darkness closes in. Sarah's features blur, the line between human and something else fading as the supernatural takes hold. Flashes of terror contort Sarah's face, a silent scream trapped within. Menacing shadowy figures lurk just beyond the light, their forms indistinct. Abrupt cuts disorient, each glimpse heightening the sense of dread. A rapid montage of fear unfolds, painting a canvas of impending doom. Sarah's terror intensifies as the shadows close in, a silent nightmare. Flickering lights cast long, distorted shadows across the living room, painting the walls with unease. The silence is broken by an eerie sound, a whisper that seems to crawl from the very walls. The unsettling sound grows louder, filling the room, heightening the growing suspense. Shadows deepen and swirl, as if reacting to the increasing intensity of the unknown presence. The air crackles with tension, a prelude to the unseen. As the eerie sound reaches its crescendo, Sarah lies prone, her breath shallow in the dimly lit room, where shadows stretch like grasping claws. Eerie light flickers, revealing the room's disarray. Shadowy figures loom over her, their malice palpable in the strained silence. Their faces are twisted in cruel mockery, their intent dark and menacing. The air grows heavy with dread as Sarah struggles against the encroaching darkness. In the dim light of the living room, a spectral figure emerges, its form shimmering as it drifts ominously. The ghostly figure glides towards Sarah, an ethereal presence filling the space between them. Its eyes ignite with an otherworldly glow, piercing the shadows as it approaches. An unsettling stillness settles over the room as the spectral figure looms ever closer to Sarah. In the dimly lit living room, a spectral figure looms, its ethereal form radiating an otherworldly glow. The ghostly figure extends a translucent hand, reaching out towards Sarah. As the spectral fingers make contact, a visible shiver runs through Sarah's body. A wave of cold washes over Sarah, the ghostly touch sending a chill deep into her bones. Sarah's eyes widen in a mix of fear and fascination as the spectral presence intensifies around her. In the dim living room, shadows dance as Sarah stands, her silhouette a study in apprehension, her eyes squeezed shut. A silent plea escapes her lips, She braces herself, a storm of unspoken fears flickering across her face. The air thickens with anticipation, every creak of the house amplifying the suspense. A deep breath, a fragile shield against the impending unknown. The sky begins to lighten, painting the horizon with the first delicate hues of dawn. Shadows recede as the sun's gentle light touches the house, awakening a new day. A serene stillness hangs in the air, broken only by the promise of life stirring. The house stands bathed in the soft, golden glow of morning's first embrace. Dawn breaks, painting the living room with soft light. Shadows retreat as sunlight floods through the windows. The room awakens with the gentle touch of morning. A peaceful quiet lingers in the air. Dust motes dance in the sun's golden rays. A new day begins in tranquil serenity. Dawn breaks, painting the living room with soft light. Sarah stirs, her eyelids fluttering open to greet the new day. A sense of relief washes over her as she takes in her surroundings. The shadowy figures that haunted her dreams are now gone. The room is still and quiet, filled with a sense of peace. Sarah takes a deep breath, grateful for the return of daylight. Sarah bolts upright, her eyes wide with a mix of terror and confusion, scanning the chaotic room. Clothes are strewn across the floor, furniture overturned. A scene of recent violence now bathed in the soft dawn light. She gasps, a hand flying to her chest as the realization washes over her. I am alive. The relief is palpable, yet the fear lingers in her eyes, a haunting reminder of what she has survived. Dawn breaks in the living room, casting long shadows that stretch and dance with the rising sun. Sarah's eyes are drawn to a dark shape lurking in the window's reflection. The shadow serves as a haunting echo of the previous night's turmoil, a silent reminder of unseen forces at play in her tranquil home. The darkness lingers, a subtle threat against the peaceful morning light. Pale dawn light reveals a lived-in living room, ordinary yet touched by unease. Sarah's gaze is fixed on a chilling anomaly, a ghostly handprint smeared on the wall. The spectral imprint lingers, undeniable proof of a haunting presence. A shiver courses through Sarah, a visceral response to the supernatural. The house whispers its secret. It remains cursed, bound by unseen forces. Dawn light fills the living room, casting a soft glow on the untouched gift beneath the Christmas tree. Sarah's eyes linger on the present, an unreadable expression shadowing her features. The gift sits silently, a symbol of unspoken words and lingering hopes in the quiet morning. Her gaze intensifies, a mixture of longing and hesitation swirling within her. She takes a step closer, drawn by an invisible thread of anticipation and uncertainty. The untouched gift remains a poignant reminder of what could be, bathed in the soft light. Dawn breaks, dust motes swirling in pale light. Sarah awakens on the sofa, eyes wide with fear. She sits up, straining to hear past the pounding of her own heart. A faint, unsettling jingling drifts from a brightly wrapped gift on the coffee table. The innocent-looking gift seems to mock her growing terror. Shivering, Sarah whispers, "It's not over," her voice barely audible. Under a deceptively bright sun, the house stands ordinary, sunlight glinting off windows, masking the darkness within. Sarah sees beyond the neat lawn and tidy facade, a cursed place, a silent witness to unseen horrors. The house looms, its ordinary exterior, a stark contrast to the extraordinary evil Sarah knows it harbors. Sunlight illuminates the house, yet shadows dance, hinting at the lurking secrets and the horrors unseen. In the living room, Sarah's gaze is fixed on a mysterious gift, her expression a mask of fear and curiosity. Her eyes, wide and reflective, betray the inner turmoil as she contemplates the unknown contents. Sunlight streams into the room, highlighting the dust motes dancing around the unopened package. A palpable tension fills the air as Sarah hesitates, her hand hovering just above the wrapping. The room holds its breath, awaiting Sarah's decision as she contemplates the potential within. The gift sits innocently, yet Sarah perceives a silent threat, amplifying her apprehension. In the warm kitchen, Sarah makes tea, steam rising like a whispered secret. Her hands tremble slightly as she clutches the mug, a silent battle against rising anxiety. Each breath is an effort to steady herself. The kitchen, a sanctuary of brewing calm. She hopes the simple ritual can soothe her nerves. In a quiet hallway, Sarah moves with guarded steps, a sense of caution etched in her expression. She pauses before each door, her eyes scanning, seeking. The silence is heavy, amplifying the tension of her careful advance. Each room is a question mark, a potential revelation or threat in her determined search. Sarah steps into her bedroom, a familiar space holding secrets. She kneels, peering under the bed, her eyes searching in the dim light. A flicker of memory crosses her face, guiding her. She recalls a hidden treasure, a secret carefully concealed. Sarah re-enters the living room, her steps measured as she navigates the familiar space. She approaches the couch, the worn fabric, a silent invitation to rest. Settling onto the cushions, she leans back, her body sinking into the soft embrace. With a gentle sigh, Sarah closes her eyes, seeking solace in the darkness behind her lids. A moment of quietude descends as she attempts to unwind, her face serene. In the living room, sunlight streams through the windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Sarah's gaze drifts towards a gift, its presence a stark reminder of the previous night's haunting events. The gift sits silently, its ornate wrapping a deceptive mask over the secrets it holds. A shadow falls across Sarah's face as she recalls the night's unsettling moments. The room is filled with an unspoken tension, a silent echo of the emotions that linger. Sunlight floods the living room as Sarah is lost in her book. A faint whisper stirs the air, barely a breath. Sarah pauses, head tilted, sensing something amiss in the otherwise silent room. She shrugs it off, dismissing the strange sensation as mere fancy. Sarah stands at the sink, her back tense, as if bracing against an unseen force. Her hands are submerged in soapy water, a futile attempt to cleanse more than just the dishes. The clatter of dishes echoes loudly, breaking the silence of the empty kitchen. She scrubs at a plate with unnecessary force, a storm brewing beneath her calm facade. Each scrub is a desperate attempt to keep busy, to avoid facing the quiet truth. The soapy water swirls down the drain, carrying away the pretense of normalcy. Sarah walks down the hallway, her footsteps echoing in the quiet. Ahead, a door creaks open slightly, casting a shadow into the hallway. The sound breaks the silence, hinting at secrets hidden within. A sense of unease fills the air as Sarah approaches the mysterious opening. Sarah re-enters the silent living room, her footsteps echoing softly. Her breath catches in her throat as she notices the gift, subtly shifted from its original place. A wave of unease washes over her as she stares intently at the mysterious object. The air thickens with unspoken questions, each shadow seeming to deepen around her. Sunlight floods the living room, illuminating a gift that sits innocently on a table. Sarah's eyes are fixed on the gift, her heart pounding with a mix of dread and curiosity. A subtle tremor runs through her hands as she reaches out, hesitant. Her brow furrows, an unsettling feeling creeping into her mind. The air thickens with unspoken suspicion as she circles the object. She knows, with chilling certainty, that something is terribly wrong. Sunlight floods the living room, highlighting dancing dust motes as Sarah freezes, breath caught in her throat. A faint, innocent jingling emanates from the brightly wrapped gift on the coffee table. A bone-deep chill washes over her, unbidden and absolute. The stark realization crashes down. The terror is far from over. The house is consumed by night, its darkened windows like vacant eyes staring into the pale moonlight. Ominous shadows stretch from the house, twisting familiar shapes into menacing figures. An unsettling stillness blankets the scene, amplifying the foreboding aura of the silent house. Not a single light flickers, hinting at secrets hidden deep within the house's darkened interior. The house stands as a silent sentinel, cloaked in mystery and the weight of untold stories. Bathed in the dim glow of a solitary lamp, Sarah stands in the living room, shadows stretching and swirling around her. The air is thick with an unsettling stillness, the silence heavier, more profound than before. Each shadow seems to dance with a life of its own, whispering secrets in the corners of the room. The furniture looms like silent observers, their dark shapes adding to the growing sense of unease. A palpable tension fills the space, clinging to Sarah like a shroud as she navigates the darkened room. In the dim light of the living room, a mysterious gift sits, silently commanding attention. Sarah's eyes widen, reflecting a deep-seated fear as she stares at the unknown object. A palpable tension fills the room, growing with each passing moment as Sarah hesitates. The gift seems to pulse with an unseen energy, intensifying Sarah's apprehension. Her breath hitches, caught between curiosity and dread, as she considers her next move. A dimly lit living room, shadows twisting in every corner, a stage set for unseen horrors. Sarah stands frozen, her eyes wide with terror, reflecting the lurking darkness around her. A faint whisper slithers through the air, barely audible, a ghostly caress of dread. She clutches her chest, her breath catching, a silent scream trapped within her. The shadowy figures are back, their presence a suffocating blanket of fear and despair. Sarah sprints, her breath ragged, through the long hallway. Each footstep is a desperate drumbeat in the chilling silence. Her shadow stretches and distorts with each stride, a silent pursuer mirroring her fear. She risks a glance over her shoulder, her eyes wide with terror, fueling her frantic pace. The hallway seems to lengthen, each door a silent sentinel watching her desperate flight. Adrenaline courses through her veins, a desperate hope driving her towards the exit. Back in the living room, Sarah is alone, her figure stark against the shadows stretching around her. The dim light dances, creating eerie patterns that seem to writhe and twist with a life of their own. A sense of isolation fills the room as the shadows deepen. The silence is broken only by the soft creaks of the house settling. An unsettling quiet hangs in the air as Sarah seems lost in thought. In the dead of night, Sarah's living room becomes a stage for the supernatural. A ghostly figure emerges, a spectral presence gliding ominously. The figure drifts closer, an ethereal dance of dread and mystery. Originating from the gift, it moves with a purpose unknown. Its eyes blaze with an unnatural light, piercing the darkness. Sarah can only watch, a silent witness to the unfolding horror. In the dead of night, the living room turns into a battleground. Sarah's scream pierces the silence, a desperate cry against unseen forces. She fights with every fiber of her being, pushing back against the supernatural. The air crackles with unseen energy as Sarah struggles. Flickering lights cast eerie shadows that dance ominously across the living room walls. A sudden plunge into absolute darkness as the lights abruptly fail. The silence is heavy, broken only by the faint creaks of the settling house. Shapes in the room become distorted, unrecognizable in the deep shadows. A sense of unease settles, as if unseen eyes now watch from every corner. The darkness feels alive, pressing in, a suffocating blanket of the unknown. In the dim living room, shadows stretch long as Sarah collapses onto the floor, a figure of utter defeat. The air is heavy with unspoken burdens, each breath a testament to her broken spirit. Her eyes, once bright, are now clouded with despair, reflecting the shattered dreams that surround her. Silence fills the room, broken only by her shallow, uneven breaths, each one a struggle. She lies motionless, a stark silhouette, against the muted light, surrendering to the weight of her sorrow. The living room fades into darkness, shadows stretching like grasping claws across the walls. Shadowy figures emerge from the gloom, their presence a suffocating weight. Faces twist into grotesque masks of malice, reflecting a sinister intent. An unseen dread fills the room, chilling the air with unspoken threats. The darkness seems to whisper promises of despair, enveloping her in a nightmare. In the dim living room, a spectral figure looms, its ethereal hand reaching out. The spectral hand extends, drawing nearer to Sarah, its touch promising a chilling encounter. Contact! An icy shiver races through Sarah's veins, her body tensing in response to the spectral touch. A visible shudder racks Sarah as the spectral figure's icy presence envelops her. In the living room, shadows dance as Sarah prepares herself. A deep breath, a moment of stillness before facing the unknown. Eyes tightly shut, she stands as if bracing for impact. The air is thick with anticipation, every shadow a threat. Silence amplifies as Sarah awaits fate's inevitable arrival. The world awakens as dawn's first light kisses the horizon, painting the sky with soft hues. Shadows retreat, revealing the silent house bathed in the gentle glow of morning. A new day begins, full of promise and untold stories within the walls of the house. The air is still and crisp, carrying whispers of dreams and hopes. A sense of peace settles as the world transitions from darkness to light. As dawn breaks, soft light begins to filter into the silent living room. Shadows retreat, unveiling the room's familiar shapes. Sunlight paints the walls, promising a new day. Dust motes dance in the sunbeams. A peaceful scene unfolds. The room awakens, bathed in the gentle glow of morning. Dawn filters into the living room, painting the walls with soft light. Sarah stirs, her eyes fluttering open to the quiet morning. She slowly sits up, scanning the room with cautious eyes. The shadowy figures of the night are gone, vanished with the darkness. Relief washes over her face as she takes in the peaceful scene. Dawn breaks, casting a pale light over the disarray of the living room. Sarah jolts awake, her eyes darting around the room, taking in the chaos. A wave of relief washes over her as she confirms her own survival. The messy room stands as a stark reminder of the night's events. Sarah's expression is a mix of shock and gratitude. The first rays of sunlight illuminate the scene, a promise of a new day. Dawn's first light reveals dust motes dancing in the living room, illuminating Sarah, who stands frozen, her eyes fixed on the window. A shadow stretches across the glass, distorted and elongated, a haunting echo of the night's terrors. The shadow seems to stir in the pale light, a silent, unsettling dance that sends a chill through Sarah's heart. Sarah's face is pale, illuminated by the dawn. The shadow is a lingering reminder of what happened. Dawn creeps into the living room, casting long shadows that dance with the dust motes. Sarah's gaze is fixed on the pale wallpaper, its pristine surface now marred by a dark smudge. A chilling handprint, a ghostly reminder of the house's dark history. The ominous mark looms large, an unsettling testament to the curse that clings to the walls. Sarah shivers as the cold reality sinks in. The house is far from cleansed. The handprint seems to pulse faintly in the dim light, a silent, haunting echo. Dawn paints the living room in soft hues. Sarah's gaze is drawn to a solitary gift beneath the Christmas tree. The present remains untouched, a silent testament to unspoken feelings. Morning light casts long shadows, enhancing the stillness. An undisturbed mystery waits patiently in the gentle morning glow. Dawn's first light paints the silent living room, revealing Sarah frozen, her breath misting in the icy air. A faint, unsettling jingling drifts from the gift, its melody a chilling symphony in the stillness. Shivering, she feels a primal dread grip her heart, a chilling realization washing over her. The terror she understands with growing horror, is far from over, its icy grip tightening. Under the guise of innocent daylight, the house stands, suburban and unremarkable. Its normalcy, a deceptive mask. Sunlight drenches the lawn, casting no shadows, yet Sarah sees beyond the facade, recognizing the cursed truth. The house looms, an ordinary structure transformed into a silent monument of unseen horrors. Each window reflects the clear sky, concealing the darkness that festers within the walls. The manicured garden offers no solace, its beauty a stark contrast to the malevolence Sarah perceives. It's a place where the mundane meets the macabre, where daylight cannot penetrate the secrets held captive. A brightly wrapped gift sits beneath the festive tree, promising secrets and surprises. The air is filled with a faint, mysterious jingling sound, barely audible yet undeniably present. The camera focuses intensely on the gift, drawing the viewer into its silent allure. The jingling persists, a subtle, enchanting melody that hints at hidden magic. The sound slowly fades, leaving a lingering sense of wonder and anticipation hanging in the air. Darkness descends, obscuring the gift and enveloping the scene in complete mystery.